Hi folks, and welcome back to Conan Exiles. This is episode 16 of the Beginner's Guide 2023, and I find myself in a difficult position again, because by the time you see this video, Age of War Chapter 2 will have released, but due to work commitments, I don't know when I'll be able to do a video on that, so this video is being made earlier in the week, where they're still on Chapter 1. So again, I don't want to do any content that I know is going to change quite dramatically in Chapter 2. So we're going to do a bit of a simple episode today, and that is we're going to go on how to do farming. Not very exciting, I hear you say, but one thing in the game is the later levels of sorcery, one of the ingredients you need to level up your spell book is Grey Lotus powder. Now, Lotus powder is made by grinding lotus flowers in the grinder. However, Grey Lotus is the only type of plant in the game that doesn't grow wild, so you can't just go to a location, harvest the plant with your sickle and have as much of it as you want. So it drops in rare numbers, either in the seed form or the flower form, from a few locations. One of which is the Warmaker's Sanctuary, just the end game dungeon that's like next to our base. Another one is in the arena where the undead dragon is. And the other one is up in the Sobek cave, also a harder level area. Now what will happen there is, in a chest in those locations, or potentially from other random drops, we actually got some flowers from random drops in the world, but that's much rarer. But what you'll get is, typically in a chest in those locations, you'll find a couple of seeds or a couple of flowers. And what you have to do is you have to then cultivate and grow your own flowers to give you enough to be able to grind them into the required powder. So, how do you do that? That's what we're going to go into today. So, let's see. The first thing we need to do is we activate a journey step, because we have a journey called Farmer. And that Farmer is unlocked by unlocking the Peasant Knowledge. So if we go into Knowledge, I believe it's under Survival, and we scroll down, we have the Peasant here. So these are the planters that we'll use to grow various plants. So there's Peasant, which gives you a crude planter and a compost heap. Farmer, which gives you a planter, the next level up. And finally Agriculturist, which will give you improved planters. The only difference between these three planters is this one will have, I think it's got 10 slots, this one's got 15, and then I think this one's got 30. And they've probably got a bit more HP so they won't get destroyed. But they will all work exactly the same. So you only actually need the crude planter. You might want a slightly more decorative one for your base if that's what you need. It's going to unlock. There we go. Right, so that unlocked Farmer. So we can now enable that journey step. And it says access and place a crude planter. So again, we're going to need our trusty construction hammer for that. F, and then let me see, what will it be? Crafting stations, farming, and there we go, crude planter. It requires 25 brick. So that's simple enough to do. So let's head up in here, grab some brick. We'll take 50, we'll make 2 of them. And I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to plant, you don't have to plant them outside. You would think you would have to have them outside in the sun, but you can equally plant them inside. So let's place one here, and then we're going to place another one next to it for what will become clear later on. Right, the next thing it says is access and place a compost heap. So press 5 and then F. Compost heap requires 20 shaped wood. Well, we should have plenty of that. So far it's all very cheap. Shaped wood, 20. So this is important because in order to grow a plant you need seeds and you need a compost. So let's put the compost heap on the end here. There we go. Right. Harvest plant fibre. So it's going to make us do plant fibre to start with. Because that is one of the ingredients you need to make compost with. So we run outside here, get our sickle out. There's some plant fibre. course it goes dark when we want to do this, but got nighttime sped up quite fast, so it'll go past, there we go, almost morning again. Put bone into the grinder. So we should have some bone in here. Let's get, I think we've done bone meal before. Grinder's downstairs. We've actually got some bone meal in there, but we'll do that. Oh, that's the wrong thing. That's what we want. There we go. We're making bone meal from the grinder. And obtain compost is the next thing. So we'll take bone meal, we'll take plant fibre, and we'll go with the compost. There's one more ingredient required. So it shows you here, plant fibre. Yep. Plus spoilt meat. Plus bone meal. So we'll put the bone meal in. We've got spoilt meat sitting in our campfire. Put that in there. And there we go. It starts making compost. So we'll leave that. It takes a little while to do that. But one other thing I'll show you is if we just go and grab some meat from outside. Because now we've got fridges, we're going to not have that much spoiled meat because our meat won't spoil because it's in the refrigerator, or the preservation box, sorry. But if I get some meat off of this guy. So that has a spoil timer. Let's get inside. Come down here. So in our inventory it's got a 45-minute spoil timer. If we drag it into the compost box... Oh, I pulled it back out again. So what was it? It was 45 minutes, put it in there, 2 minutes 15. So this actually accelerates the spoiling of meat. So if you're short of putrid meat, just drop some meat in here and that will spoil much quicker than it will in your actual inventory. Okay, right, now we need to leave this for a little while to generate... What are we missing? What are we short of? Not sure. But I'll get some more bone meal and I'll get some more plant fibre and we'll get some more compost on the go. And when it's done, I'll bring you back. Okay, see you soon. Right, quite some time has passed, but as you can see, the compost box now has compost in it. So if we come out of our emote state and have a look in the compost, we've still only got 13, so I've filled it up with some more plant fibre, some more bone meal, and of course, actually the decay time on this flesh is actually faster than the usage time of the putrid meat. So the putrid meat is actually going up with that flesh in it, but it's slowly making compost. But you can see here we've got 13 compost now. So if I take that out, that completes the journey step. Right, what's the next step? So this is where it's a bit annoying because we've got to craft an iron sickle now, even though we're currently rocking a hardened steel sickle. So to me, any sickle will do, so as long as you've got a sickle. I wonder if we've got one in here. Oh, that worked. So one we already had in our box. As long as you make an iron sickle, but that's silly. If you have any sickle, it should be fine. So now it says go and harvest some, well, it says plant seeds, but we missed a step. We have to harvest seeds first. So you'll get different seeds from different plants. So if I harvest this aloe, we didn't get any seeds from that. Is there more aloe over here? Take out this guy first. Let's harvest this aloe. There we go, we've got some aloe seeds. So these are aloe seeds, and if we harvest a normal, well, yellow lotus, more yellow lotus, there we go, we've got yellow lotus seeds, which will allow us to grow yellow lotus plants if we want to. And if we just take on, which you'll see in many times because we use it to make gruel, if you just harvest some normal plant fibre, you'll get just what's called just seeds. There we go. So you could plant those seeds and you'll get these plants. So if you want lots of plant fibre, that's what you could harvest. So anything you want to grow, you need the seed for it. But so if we go up here and plant a normal seed, so a useful one, especially if you're in an area that like doesn't have yellow lotus in it, or an area that doesn't have aloe in it. You could grab some seeds from somewhere it does and grow them in your own environment. So we'll put the seeds in. There we go. And we need to put the compost in. And there we go. So because we've got 10 seeds and 10, well, more than 10 compost, we'll be able to slowly grow 10 aloe plants. And then you can harvest those plants. The problem we've got, if I take some of those back, is what we want to grow is Grey Lotus. So as I said, Grey Lotus doesn't grow anywhere in the wild. You have to harvest, or you have to, sorry, find the leaves or the seeds from... There we go. So we managed to find 5 seeds off of a random... that's not, sorry. We found 5 flowers off of a random drop. But if you're not lucky enough to do that, you need to go to the sinkhole and go around the chest, round the rings of the sinkhole at the arena. And you'll find seeds and or flowers there. You can go to inside Kalel's stronghold, and certainly like the top area with the first 3 bosses before you go down into the second area. You'll find them in there, and you'll find them in the Sobek or Sobek area, which is up here with the white reptile hide guys. So all relatively tough places. I guess you can go into here relatively easy. You don't even have to fight the dragon. You can just either take an elevator down or run in through the arena door here, through the corruption to get into here, find the chests around the outside and then get back out again. Because, like I say, we need to do this kind of early, because you have to grow these for the later spells, and it's going to take a bit of time to do that. Right, so we have flowers, but that's not any use to us. You can't plant flowers. So what we'll do is we'll take 3 of the flowers, 3 flowers, and we'll put them in here and hit play, and that'll make 1 seed. So 3 flowers makes 1 seed, but when we plant that 1 seed, it'll give us 5 flowers back, so we'll end up getting a bit more. So we've only got another 2, so we don't have enough because we need 3. There's our 1 seed. But if we take it down to our planter, so that one's got aloe in it, so we'll put it in this one. So we'll put our Grey Lotus seed in here, and if we put the normal compost in, nothing happens. Because lotus seeds, whether it be yellow lotus, purple lotus, black lotus, grey lotus, all the different lotus, it doesn't grow with normal compost. All the other plants in the game will grow with compost, but the lotus seeds need what's called potent compost. And to make potent compost, you go back to your compost bin again, and you have normal compost, and you have to add blood and raw ash. So, pause there, because we have completed the journey step of farmer, and the prize for completing the reward for completing the farmer is indeed potent compost. So if we claim that reward, we got 10 potent compost, which is amazing. So if we come here now and we have our 10 potent compost and we drop it in there, we can now start growing a Grey Lotus flower. So that'll grow. So that's great for your first 10 plants, but if you want any more, you're going to have to make your own. So blood is simple. Let's go up to here. In this box, pre-prepared. If you've got some human flesh or animal heads or various other items like that, you can take that, you can put it in the fluid press, and if I drop that in there, it's going to crush and get blood out of it. You'll get the occasional bone as well. But there we go, we've got blood growing. So it's easy enough to get blood, that's fine. Let me throw that away, let me take that downstairs. But what we'll need is raw ash. Raw ash, again, you can get that as a random drop off of people, but very, very rarely. So what we're going to really need to do is we're going to have to go to the volcano and harvest some. So in order to do that, to get to the volcano, we need spicy food, because we have to get through the snow. That's the problem with the volcano. So we have to get through the snow, so we might need spicy food in case we get too cold up there. And then once we get through there into the volcano, it's going to be really hot. So we're going to need something to cool us down. So we need plenty of water, or iced tea, or even just a stack of ice. If we can just eat ice, that'll help cool us down. Right, let me drop that. I don't want to put it in there because I want to show you what comes out of it. Let me go up here and I'll put it in the dryer just for safekeeping. We've got the ice. Let's get rid of the fibre in here. Let's turn it into twine and we'll put the aloe leaves in there because we'll use that for making aloe potions. Okay, right, let's grab our guys and we'll head up to the north, and I'll take you into the volcano and I'll show you where we're going to get raw ash from. Okay, I'm going to ride up there and I'll bring you back when we get there. Okay, see you soon. Okay, right, welcome back. So as you can see, we're up in the snow now, so let me just show you where we are. So what I did was I came up towards the Mounds of the Dead here, and then I followed this little path out here to where this like circle is there, and then you can go up here, up this path up here, into the snow. Now, this location here is one entrance into the volcano, and it's called Dragon's Mouth. And you can kind of see it over there, and you can see why it's called Dragon's Mouth, with the teeth coming up and down. But that doesn't take us into an area of the volcano that has obsidian nodes that we need at the moment. So what I've done is I've just come up on the right hand side here, and we're heading up the hill on the right hand side. Now, gotta have to take a wee second to find it, because what we're looking for is an area called the Hidden Path. So, by the very virtue of its name, it's not blatantly obvious where it is, so I might have to do a little bit of checking, especially because of these trees. But let me see. Oh, stuck on a tree. Oh, that looks like it over there. Yep, that gap between the rocks up there is the path we're looking for. It's another one of the entrances into the volcano. And when we go in there, there are obsidian nodes that we need to harvest to get the raw ash. We're showing very cold now. We're not actually taking any damage, but I'll take a little bit of spicy food just to warm up. I actually left without taking any spicy food with me out of the fridge. Come on. So I had to go back. Let's get off the horse. Let's just run. Right, so you can now see there's a little path emerged in between those rocks. There is one of the pylons for the ghost fence, but it is broken, so we can get through it. Let's run up here. So we've eaten our spicy food. There we go, the hidden way, not the hidden path. So close. Let's run up here. We're very cold now. But that's okay, because very soon we'll be in the volcano. We're only going to take damage once it goes to extremely cold. Alright, let's climb up this little steps. There is a tablet on the right hand side here. Here we go.
You have come to the northern boundary of our
and this is the volcano. So how it goes quite so sharply from snow to charred flaming trees, I'm not sure. And you can see the obsidian, blue obsidian buildings that are on the side. So we're now warming up, and it's now going to get hot. So this is actually going to cause us some issues, so let's just drag our ice down onto our bar. And let's take some ice to cool us down. Right, so this bluish rock is obsidian nodes. And you can harvest them with a pick to get obsidian, but apparently the best tool for getting raw ash from them is a sickle. I will point out that I do actually have, so I've got 10 points in expertise, and at the 10 point mark I've picked the Careful Harvest perk, and that gives you twice as likely to gather rare resources when harvesting. So you could gather rare gold from these, or hopefully raw ash. So let's start. There we go, we got some raw ash, crystal. There we go, so I'm going to just throw away the crystal. I've got 72 raw ash so far. You can see there's a rock nose just sitting in the ground there. So let's go take him out. He'll pop up like that. And he is a obsidian rock nose. Don't think you can get raw ash on them, but let's just try it and see. Oh, we can. Okay, got a bunch there. Right, so there's quite a few nodes around this area. We're still cooling down, so we're doing okay. We're doing okay temperature-wise. Can I see what the temperature is? It's 35 degrees, so it's quite warm. There we go, it's hot because the ice is, but not too hot. There we go. A bit more ice just to cool us down. And there we go. So raw ash is going to be really useful for us, because as well as using it to make our potent compost, we can also make white dye with it. So if you're wanting to use white dye to dye your armour, this is the place to come. We can get tons of it up here. So, okay, I'm going to harvest a few of these nodes around here and gather a whole bunch of raw ash, and then I'm going to meet you back at base. Okay, see you back there. Okay, we're back home again. So we managed to get a decent haul. We got 886 raw ash, sorry, from just the handful of nodes that's up in that hidden way location. You could go further into the volcano and get a lot more if you need to. We also got a golden rock nose, or a goldstone rock nose pop up out of the ground, and when we harvest that we got 60 goldstone from it. We've also got a little bit of obsidian, ironstone and coal. So let's go up here. We may as well put that gold in here and get that smelting into the gold bars. There we go. We'll give you the coal as well. May as well give you the iron. Get that going. So that'll give us some gold bars to stick in our coffer. We'll stick that obsidian in there. We can't actually smelt obsidian in here. That's further down the line. There's a special place we have to go to smelt obsidian into composite obsidian bars. But we'll come to that. Right, so we've got our ash. So we can go downstairs now. And we can drop our ash. We've got blood in here, and you can see we've now got 23 potent compost that's going to start growing, or start being produced again. We're going to have to work through all that normal compost first, and then we'll take that. So it'll take compost, ash and blood to make the potent compost. Now let's see. Oh, it's grown. So the potent compost that we used has grown our seeds into Grey Lotus flower, or one seed into Grey Lotus flower. So again, we can take that lotus flower, we can bring it up here to the dryer, so we can add it to that. So we've got 7, so that's enough to give us another 2 seeds. There you go, three flowers per seed, and this works with all plants. Take any plant, 3 flowers will give you 1 seed, and then you grow that 1 seed, which will give you 5 flowers. So you'll always be increasing your stock of flowers. So we then can take that seed and we can take it back downstairs and we can plant it and get another flower. And basically we want to get to the point where we've got, I think we need 10 lotus powders, so we'll need 10 flowers, but with enough that we've at least got a seed more so we can keep producing it, because we can use it for other things later on, such as Grey Lotus potions and other stuff like that. But that is the basics of farming. The only other thing I need to point out, that although standard compost is plant fibre, what is that? Putrid meat? I keep wanting to say spoilt meat, but that's arc. It's putrid meat and bone meal. So if you put those 3 in, you'll make normal compost, and then normal compost with raw ash and blood is makes potent compost. But you can use dung. So when you're growing animals in your animal pen, and if you feed animals that are still in the pen with whatever food that they eat before you take them out, they will eat that and it'll turn it into dung, and you can use dung in here to make, I can't remember what it replaces, but I'll stick it up on the screen just now, what you use with dung instead of this recipe, and the same with the potent. And you can also see that as long as you've got compost in your compost bin, you will produce a stack of fat grubs. So fat grubs can be particularly good for putting in the fish traps for fishing if you want to do that. So just having one piece of compost in will continually produce up to a stack of fat grubs. As soon as it gets to a stack of 50, it'll stop, but if you take them out, it'll start producing more. So that's a few extra things that you can do with the compost bin. There you go. But yeah, we can make lots of plants, so it's particularly useful, I would say, if you want to get some purple and black lotus seeds, because now that we know that how good the purple lotus orbs are for knocking out our friends, you have to go all the way to the jungle to get the black lotus. Was around here, and the purple lotus, no sorry, the purple lotus was around there, and the black lotus is in the garden, the black garden over here. So it's a long, especially if you stay way over here on the west side, it's a long journey to go and get more of that lotus. But if you go on your first trip, and when you harvest it, you'll get seeds. You can grow that seeds in your base and have never-ending purple and black lotus. But yeah, Grey Lotus is what we're looking for, because we need that for the sorcery, but you can apply the same principle for any plant. So if you're not near aloe, you're not near yellow lotus for your potions, just grow it in your base, nice and easy. Okay, that's going to be it for today. Short and sweet. As I say, by the time you see this video, chapter 2 will be out, so hopefully I'll get a video out as soon as I can with the new things that are going on in chapter 2 of Age of War. But until then, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please hit the like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.